Hello, my name is Kanisha Lynn Mays, and today I would like to talk to you all about police brutality. It seems like every day African Americans are losing their loved ones due to police brutality. So I just want to know, when will it end? Every time a police officer or his partners end up wrongfully shooting or killing African Americans, it's always, in their words, it was a mistake, or I told them to put their hands up, but they didn't put their hands up. And their favorite one to use is always, I thought I seen a gun. Did you see a gun, or did you think you seen a gun? Which one is it? So let's dig deeper today. I'd like to talk to you all about the 22-year-old male named Stephon Clark. He was an African American male who was killed in his own grandmother's backyard. He was shot 20 times by two police officers on March 18, 2018. I find it strange how two officers can mistake a cell phone for a gun. In my eyes, there's no difference. Because how can you compare the two? Does these glasses look like a gun to you? Because in my eyes, they look like glasses. But I guess in two police officers' eyes, these glasses could look like a gun in my hands if I'm coming at them. Not only did the two police officers mistake a cell phone as a gun, but after they shot him 20 times, they then proceeded to go into his grandmother's home and interview her. Now, they ended up interviewing her for several hours, and within the several hours of asking her all types of questions and just asking her different things, not once did they tell her what just went on in her backyard. And once I reading the quotes in the news interviews, his grandmother was really old, and his grandfather was on a wheeler. So they didn't hear no shots, and the front door was not working at the time. So anytime somebody would ring the doorbell, she would automatically let the garage up for someone to come in. So they proceeded to interview her, ask her all types of questions, and not once did they end up telling her how they just shot anybody in her backyard. Then, to make matters worse, the two officers wrongfully shot and killed an innocent black man, all because they seen a cell phone. But to put the icing on the cake is, while everything was under investigation, these two officers who shot a black man 20 times because they seen a cell phone and thought it was a gun, got put on a paid leave. So basically what I'm saying to you all is, they got a paid vacation after shooting and killing an African American, could have been anyone. If that's not straight outrageous, then I don't know what is. As I continue to read the articles and the newsletters and everything else, I then found out that the two officers who killed Stephon Clark not only shot him 20 times, repeatedly firing shots and shots and shots. Instead of trying to see what was in his hand, they kept firing shots. But immediately after shots were fired, both of their cameras mysteriously went off. So after shooting and killing him, because he was pronounced dead on the scene after other police officers arrived, it was no record of medical assistance, sympathy, or even trying to go check and see if he was alive. So again, I ask you all, when will it end? Police brutality, to me, it all ties in with the racism as well, because we're not hearing police brutality stories about white people or even Hispanics. But police brutality is always targeting Black African Americans. Thank you.
Life stands as a stark reminder of the brutal consequences of police brutality. His life was tragically cut short during an encounter with the law enforcement. Times like this could have been easily avoided if it were for police training, accountability, persistence of police trying to understand the community so much better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here today as we discuss a very urgent topic in our country: police brutality and misconduct. My name is Diana Johnson, and I will be guiding you guys through this speech and through this conversation that we'll be having today. Today we'll be discussing a man named Eric Garner. Eric Garner was a 43-year-old African American that resided in New York, United States. He was brutally murdered by Daniel Pantaleo on July 14th, 2014. Garner's case, it just exemplifies the pressing need for comprehensive police reform. It makes us want to reevaluate the tactics they use, the ways they're taught. What are they doing to not only teach these officers how to police the communities, but how to become one with the communities that they're supposed to be looking after? If you are supposed to call these people when you are in danger, but you feel as though every time you see them, they put you. I feel as though with community engagement, if they took the time to get to know the lives that they're protecting, they would care a little bit more when it came down to certain situations like Eric Garner. Eric Garner was not posing a threat to anyone. He was just merely selling cigarettes outside of a convenience store. Daniel Pantaleo showed no care for his life. Whether that means like this should only push us towards legislative reform and policy changes. There needs to be something, new bills that needs to be created, so people know when they decide to make prejudiced decisions like these, their lives will never be the same, because if they have affected somebody else's life so harshly. Eric Garner's case is a testament to a collection of powerful voices. The voices of the people who have been through similar trauma but haven't had the same opportunity to share their story. This really highlighted how much of a problem this was in our very country that we live in daily. And it just makes you remember that although you should love who you are, you should love all that you come with, being a person of color in this country is not easy.
Hello, my name is Nakari Chambers, and my project will be on George Floyd. For over the years, it's been a lot of police brutality. For the past years, Black men, Black women, and Black children as well have died due to police officers and police brutality. On May 25th, 2020 in Minneapolis, a 46-year-old Black man by the name George Floyd was arrested and killed by Derek Chauvin. A convenience store employee called 911 and stated Floyd bought cigarettes with an artificial $20 bill. Minutes later, 3 police cars pulled over Floyd and 4 officers proceeded out of the vehicles. Chauvin handcuffed Floyd and knelt on his neck for over 9 minutes while he was lying face down in the streets. None of the police officers stopped, told Chauvin to get up, even tried to help Floyd, and Floyd repeatedly said he could not breathe. Everyone watched, everyone recorded, but no one helped. Floyd died that day when his neck was being knelt on by Derek Chauvin. He died due to he cannot breathe. He continuously repeatedly that he cannot breathe, and due to racism and the police brutality, he did not get up. He sat there and he knelt on his neck the whole time. Because he was a Black man. I feel if he was white, that would not have happened. Due to racism and police brutality going on over the years and continuously, and it's not being stopped, it's a sign. It's like a repetitive cycle that just keeps going on and no one's stopping it. All the officers that watched they were in trouble. Derek Chauvin was as well. The next day after George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin, all the officers were suspended from the office as police officers and had to turn in their badges, and they were all arrested as well. Derek Chauvin is doing 43 years right now. Derek Chauvin was transferred from a Minnesota to an Arizona prison to spend the rest of his 43 years to life there. I feel Derek Chauvin should have had more than just 43 years because the way he murdered a black man, a 40-year-old black man that has a family, has a kid as well, I feel 43 years wasn't enough. Derek Chauvin should have had life, or even, I don't know, just something else, but 43 years, that's not enough. Yes, it's half his life, but he spent the rest of his life in there. Derek Chauvin on November 24th was brutally stabbed 22 times by another inmate in the Arizona prison as well. He's in very critical condition. And the reason he was stabbed was because of the racism and the police brutality that he showed against George Floyd. A 40-year-old black man who repeatedly kept asking you to get off their neck, and you knelt and killed him. When you knew he was in pain, you knew he couldn't breathe. He repeatedly kept saying, he can't breathe, get off his neck, get off his neck. And none of the officers that were there or aware of the situation never decided to jump in and help George on what was going on. The situation could have easily been stopped if someone else would have stopped recording, told them to stop, help, do something. But nothing was ever stopped or helped, or no one else was involved. Everyone just watched George Floyd die on the ground. George Floyd was handcuffed and was taken advantage of. He was knelt down on the ground face first with his hands behind his back. And he had handcuffs behind him. That's a harsh way of dying. Someone's kneeling on your neck and you keep repeatedly saying you cannot breathe. The way George Floyd died was unprovoked and uncaused for. Mostly over a $20 bill of stealing cigarettes with an artificial $20 bill, which we don't even know if he actually did steal the cigarettes with an artificial $20 bill. That's just what the employee at the convenience store accused him of. We don't know if it's because he was black or because of what reason. But I do know George Floyd was killed because he was a black man. A black man that didn't do anything. He didn't fight back. He didn't resist. He didn't do anything. So I feel George Floyd needs more justice than what he's gained and that he's getting. George Floyd died over cigarettes in a harsh way. His family had to see that. His daughter had to see that. That is a harsh way of dying. And that's not just, George Floyd isn't the only one. Over the years, it's been numerous police brutality. And it just keeps going on. It doesn't matter if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a child. If they see that you have color, you're black, they're going to do anything because they're racist. Because of racism, that the police brutality is going to continue to keep going. It shouldn't even be that way. With men, women, kids, anyone. Everyone should be treated the same equally, no matter what skin you are, your race, your religion, your beliefs, anything. Everyone should be treated equally and the same.